Hello, it is Monday the 18th of March 2013. It's week 3 of me being a vegan and, to be honest, finding it quite boring. I don't know why. Going from being a meat eater to not a meat eater was cool because it forced me to try a lot of new things. That was exciting. Being raw was a definite challenge, but it made me feel great in myself. It was worth it despite the hardships in the beginning. Being a vegan has so far not been that rewarding. It just makes your food more expensive. I'm certainly not feeling as good physically as I did when I was raw. And in fact, today I'm fairly dead in the fact that I picked up a stomach bug over the weekend and I'm now feeling pretty weak. So I understand that obviously most people making the choice to be vegan make it purely on grounds of animal welfare and not hurting any other being in any way. But I think for me, I will probably in the long run be a mostly vegetarian, raw Buddhist as opposed to a strict vegan, because I have been feeling like I'm not as strong and I need to be strong. But what I do with my life, everything in my life is physical. My job's very physical. The things I enjoy to do with my spare time are fairly physical. Riding BMX and surfing required a lot of physical energy and strength. At the moment, I feel a bit down in the dumps on my health, but I'm in no way saying that anyone else should be discouraged from being a vegan. If that's what they choose is right for them, then that is fine. And I'd also like to take this point to sort of reiterate that I am very much encouraging other people to challenge the way they live and to try and be the ideal that perhaps they see in their head and can't bring themselves to realise. But I'm not telling you that you have to. I'm not telling anybody that they have to do anything. I'm merely relaying the results that I've seen and basically a vision of who I am now and who I want to be and the journey to that point. Anyway, on with the show. It's time for some food pictures because we are still dealing with food. So this week's been quite eventful in the fact that it has seen my partner's birthday, our anniversary, 4 years together. That's scary, poor girl. And my date of birth, which I do not celebrate at all. I don't see the point of celebrating being closer to your death. I wasn't brought up celebrating birthdays, and it's something that I'm actually grateful for. But people insist on being nice to you, and that is annoying. I protest every year. Some people have now finally taken note, but it usually takes 4 or 5 years of knowing me for someone to realise that they don't need to bother. And then I have to be grateful to everyone that has been nice to me and thank them very much. In an ideal world, just forget about it. Thanks. So, to celebrate being together for 4 years, we went to 100 Monkeys in Glastonbury for a very nice meal, and I had a vegan garlic and herb risotto, which I forgot to take a photo of. I did remember to photograph this very nice chocolate cupcake I had as a dessert. This salad for work is probably the healthiest thing I've eaten this week. This was an unhealthy, expensive find that was very, very tasty. Lovely friend Daisy made me this lemon vegan cake, something to do with me getting even older. And then Charlie turned up with this beautiful ginger cake. It's kind of tradition that if me and Ryan together at the weekend we have to have a fry up. This one's vegan. And tonight I've made some sweet and sour noodles. So yeah, you can see there's been a fair mix really of healthy and unhealthy foods. I am more and more, I keep thinking I've got to go back to raw, I've got to get back into raw. But then the time thing, I'm just always pushed for time. I'm always thinking I haven't got time to prepare food. And now I'm physically feeling the effects of me making that decision. So I'm going to make a more concerted effort, I feel, to push more raw food back into my diet again because it made me feel good and now I don't feel good. So that's not a really great way to live, is it? So last weekend, my best friend Ryan came down to visit again because we're brewing up for a trip to Portugal, which, all being well, and if I can get my car back on the road, because it's in the garage at the moment, broken, all being well, we're going to Portugal to go surfing for a week and a half. The purpose of the trip, obviously, is mostly pleasure, but also I feel it's going to be beneficial because, one, I've not driven in Europe before, so that'll be a new experience, and two, it'll just give me an idea of what it's like travelling long distances in a new environment, which I'm hoping will just give me a little bit of a taster for what I'm aiming for with this entire project, which is living in a van and cruising about and seeing other countries and other ways of living. So I'm excited about that, very excited. But what came out the weekend was an interview with Ryan, which I have for you here now. Please enjoy.
I'm a very hungover Ryan. So in 2013, I challenged myself to live a little bit differently. Because I was fed up with what I was doing to my body and what I was putting in my body, and I just wanted to see if I could do it a little bit differently. In January I was vegetarian. At first I thought it would be really hard and be craving meat, and I wasn't really, it was quite easy. Yeah, I decided to carry it on and it's been really good for me. I felt better after food. I don't feel tired after food. I feel more energetic in myself. Yeah, just feel better all around overall. In February I was no alcohol. That was boring, I didn't like that. It wasn't hard, but socially it was quite hard. I kind of found myself just sat there going out because I like to go to the pub and I like to have a drink, as you know, and I suppose that was quite a big change. I could have carried it on, but I didn't feel physically different, felt the same. No, not really. I mean, there was certain aspects where you see people getting really wasted and you could kind of think, yeah, I'm not doing that, that's quite cool. And when everyone's moaning about being hungover, like me today, yeah, that's something I felt good about. In March, I am caffeine free. I decided to do caffeine because I'm a graphic designer and all we do all day is drink coffee. I don't know, I kind of thought it helped with creativity. It kind of keeps you awake and keeps you focused. And when I didn't have caffeine for the first 2 or 3 days, all that went. I couldn't focus. I was kind of really tired, headaches, felt a bit sick, and it was horrible, horrible stuff. I've decided to kind of take caffeine out of my life after talking to Josh about it because it's not very good for you and I didn't like how my body was running on it and it needed it to run. I don't think that shouldn't happen. You should be able to feel good without having to inject something into your body. I wasn't injecting coffee into my body. It was kind of a decision I've made now that I'm not going to do it anymore. Energy wise, at first I was terrible, I was tired. I've already explained my symptoms, but after kind of about 4 days I felt amazing, and apart from drinking too much beer, I feel amazing all the time now. Combination of vegetarianism and no caffeine and moderate amount of beer or alcohol. It's done me good. I thought the hardest one to do, well, it was definitely caffeine because, like I say, I was probably addicted to it and it was really hard to get off. And now I feel really good. I think that's the most change. The second hardest was probably alcohol because of the social side of it and just how you don't realise how much it kind of gets into our lifestyle. Our kind of world revolves around it really. So that was hard. The meat thing was easy for me. I really enjoy that because I like a lot of different foods and I've been trying a lot of different foods now that I wouldn't have had before. Yes, I would. I've enjoyed making changes and it's been a really positive experience for the most part. No, not really, because I've been doing kind of the dietary things, so maybe don't really want to go more extreme. That's your thing. Maybe one day, I don't know. I like the idea of the raw thing, that sounds really good. But I don't think I'd want to do it 100%, because that kale stuff what you made me try was horrible. Raw, it was nice, but like, obviously raw, but like, I didn't like it blended up. It made me feel a bit sick. It's making me feel sick thinking about it. Yes, I would. Before this 3 months, I wasn't the type of person to think, oh, I should do without this and I should do without that. But after this 3 months, definitely go for it. Is that it?
Yeah.
I've just got into it now. I want more questions.
So going back to what I was saying earlier, I'm not saying that you should all go out and do things or do anything that you don't want to do in any way, but I'm not the only one that is seeing results with challenging themselves and being that ideal that they see in their head. And that's just something that I'd like to convey, really. So I'll leave it at that for this week and wrap it up there. Thank you very much for watching this. I will see you next week. I hope you look forward to it. Goodbye.
Like this one time I was like scraping some paint off wood and the paint was white, but I had black bogies.